Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Big news. People magazine has announced the sexiest man alive. I fucked up. I put a lot of money on this dude named John Sampson. Who's John Sampson? He's a substitute secretary at an accounting firm. And I'm like, this is without a doubt the most beautiful, sexiest man I've ever. It's Paul Rudd. Wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. Oh, well.
I love that. Because I could see people patting themselves on the back for picking the right PR person. Of course, that's really what it comes down
to. There's a movie coming out. Sure.
Sure. Yeah. It always coincides with their glorious skin. Fantastic. But I can also see people going like, oh, he's the regular guy. And we are not that vain because we find regular guys the sexiest. Right. And it's just, does that make sense? I feel like Paul Rudd started as like the regular guy who like, but I'm into him, and like, because I go for regular guys. I don't need for someone to look like a movie star. I'm regular myself. And now he's escalated and elevated on that track into the hottest guy we all know. What a bunch of pressure. Is he married?
I assume he's married, and hopefully for whatever reason, probably unrelated, he didn't perform good that night. And the wife's like, well, who gives a shit? Just a weird coincidence if it happened that day. It's a lot of pressure.
I would love a supercut of your odd fantasies.
Other big Hollywood news, Alanis Morissette is going to develop a comedy series inspired by her life for ABC.
I just jizzed and I don't even like that idea. I don't even know what the idea is. I only half listened. You said Alanis Morissette and some kind of project followed and I bought a ticket already.
I listened to her music and I'm like, this could make a fucking TV comedy. This is some good. What'd be funny is like the very first episode, she's on a date, right? A young her. And they're like, do you want to go to dinner? Bowling? How about the theater? And we all laugh, but I don't know where they can go from there, But anyway, good luck. Right. Let's read the forums. Let's read some Reddit comments. All right. Svaj says, yay, Bianca was back. I listened to last week on Keith and the Girl. That's in your VIP package. I laughed and laughed. I enjoyed it so much. I'll have to listen to it again tomorrow. That was a treat to catch up.
I love that. And I love having the chance to re-listen or rewatch something because you already know the story and now you're picking up on these nuances, on these things that maybe you didn't catch the first time. Love that.
Right. Mallory says, I cannot express the joy I felt hearing Bianca's voice again. She makes both Keith and Chemda laugh in a way I feel like I don't hear too often on this episode. So this episode, was just joy on joy on joy.
Well, she tickles our bone marrow. It's nice.
Paige says, I loved hearing from Bianca. So many belly laughs during this episode. I think Bianca is one of the cooler people on the planet, and I'm glad she is doing so well. Miss Turi, get it, says, thank you for sharing your last 10 months with us in detail, Bianca. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Silent Trailers. That's, of course, a Kickstarter exclusive. Here's hoping that you can continue to amuse us with your unique perspectives and sense of humor. Pissaman 2, first post on our forums, says, I've been looking forward to this so much. This was amazing. How fun. This, of course, is in your VIP package. 13 says, I listened to this episode. It was a magical experience. Bianca is genuinely one of the funniest people I've ever heard on the show. And Lilpa says, so happy to hear Bianca again. I forgot how quick-witted she is. I need to watch the virtual roast again. She was amazing in that. I hope she continues to recover. There you have it. Yeah.
Awesome.
It was so fun. And the Kickstarter that we're talking about, or the Silent Trailers Kickstarter show, you support anything at keithandthegirl.com/kick. You're a member and you get a ticket to our special Silent Trailers game show.
Yeah, the December Silent Trailers will not have tickets. You won't be able to buy tickets. It's only through our Kickstarter supporters. Anyone who supports the Kickstarter right now will get the ticket after.
Let's see. Grab your rewards at keithandthegirl.com/kick. Watch the video we put together for your eyeballs. We'd love to hear your thoughts. keithandthegirl.com/kick. We are now 32% funded. When we reach 100, we can book the 24-hour live show, another full year of Keith and the Girl episodes, and of course, the Silent Trailers game show. So check out the video, keithandthegirl.com /kick. Also, be sure that you're a member of our Reddit. We're under Keith and the Girl. Newsy's posting pictures of his hookup, hot spots, right? / potential death traps. Chemda has nephews. I'm seeing a lot going on there. Riding her bike. One of these videos will be her crashing into a car. So it's live. What are you gonna do? A whole bunch of stuff. She's rewatching Sex in the City. It's funny to see those thoughts change over the years. I post some of my golden thoughts, show related polls, and probably the best pictures in town. So take a look at Keith and the Girls Reddit. Today's guest. Come on now, hot soup. Here we go. From Schmooze Comedy, we'll talk about from the New York Comedy Festival. And it's the medic from Overwatch, making sure that heroes never die. Lucy Pohl.
Heroes never die.
How you doing, Lucy?
What's going on, people? How are you?
I will
Can I
never
just say,
Yes.
I will
it's
never get
rhetorical.
tired of I will never get tired of you saying that, because I love the way you jump from character to character so smoothly. It's so impressive when people could manipulate their voice that much. And you use it for good, not evil. That's nice of you.
there you go. See, that's what I'm all about. But can I just say that Sex in the City, I was invited to this podcast about Sex in the City. I didn't know it was about that. And you watch an episode, then talk about it. And this was like 2 years ago. I had just been newly single and I watched this episode. I've never been more depressed in my life because I hadn't seen it since I was like 20. And when I was 20, I was like, oh, I'm never going to be like those women. Ew. And you're like, oh my God, that's so cute. And now I was those women.
In what part? In what way?
In all ways, like you have this like little tiny cute apartment and cute outfits, but every man is fucking shit and fucks you over and your life isn't going anywhere. And you're just like, everything is just doesn't work, but you're like living this cool New York life and it looks cool on paper, but you're crying at home every night and depressed.
And drinking at 10 a.m.
I was depressed. I was like, this is horrible. This is the worst thing I've ever done.
It is interesting. I was because it's been out so long ago. I mean, these people just got email, I didn't know it was out decades ago. So I was able to watch it in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I know this is the first time I'm watching it in my 40s. And I'm like, I don't know that I would have teared up here last time. Or I don't know that I would have been this mad at one of these characters before. I would have been like you said, like, that's so true. Anyway, whatever, I'm going out.
Yeah, that'll never be me. I love this TV show about those like old women that like don't have their shit together. And then you watch it later and you're like, no.
I remember Chemda used to watch it and I'd see it over her shoulder and I'd roll my eyes. I'd have to leave the room so I don't ruin the experience. Like every scene, I'm like, who gives a fuck? You don't, now that you're older, you don't see it that way. You actually get stuff out of it.
Yeah, I think I still get stuff out of it. And I almost wanted to be more intellectual than Sex in the City as I watch it. I wanted it to be old for me. I have to admit that. And I'm watching, it's still relevant. It's still, I know it seems childish to talk about like, quote boys over and over again and the issues that we keep having with them and what's my pattern and how can I better myself and shoes and blah, blah, blah. And I never related to the shoes part. I never related to the fashion part. That's just pretty for me to watch as part of, as the rest of it goes on. But Miranda has serious stuff going on. They dealt with bigger issues like cancer and stuff. And it's not even necessarily those big issues. It's different parts of your personality are in different parts of them. You don't have to be the caricature that they develop. You don't have to be a Miranda. You can go, I respond like this, like this one, like this woman to this thing. And I respond like this woman to this thing. And they're speaking the truth in exaggeration and in really corny puns sometimes. And honestly, yes, every time Samantha opens her mouth, I'm like, they gave her these lines and she just had to say them. Honey, how do you call that? I call that a cocktail. And I'm like, wow, like what century is she coming out of, where these are modern women and she's all in like, these outfits and that's what I call a blowjob. What? Like, I don't, sometimes I'm waiting for the guy to respond like, do I have a camera on me? Like, I'm waiting for her dates to go. Did you just really fucking say that? We were
Who are
in
you
reality.
talking to? Yeah.
Yeah, like there's one scene. I think I've spoken about this scene before. Very interesting. She just moved into the meatpacking district, so she's
Oh, yeah.
edgy, and there's like sex clubs on her corner and whatever. Like that's
Yeah.
what happened in the sex, like whatever. And so she meets this guy who's super hot, and she's like, I live here, and he's like, I live here too, and she's like, that sounds promising, and he actually goes, what? But of course she ends up sleeping with him.
Sure.
And in this scene, this is the funniest sex scene I think in all of Sex in the City, because I can't get it out of my head. He's laying down on his back, she's on top of him sitting up, and she's like, I don't remember what she's saying, but it's something like bad boy or whatever. And she's fake slapping him, not fake slapping it as in like you have to act like you're slapping. And I think most of the time when people slap on stage or on camera, sometimes it's real, but she's like, don't you ever. And she's just waving her hand in front of his face as if and I'm like, is this a rehearsal? And they just didn't have time to.
I think
she's
it's
supposed
deliberate.
to be-
She's
yeah,
psychotic.
She's supposed to be ridiculous. Exactly. She's supposed to be ridiculous.
I don't think she's supposed to be that ridiculous. I think she's supposed to just be the ever single, the see women have sex drives like men sometimes also, like sort of depicting that. I think she's
Right.
supposed to only be about sex, but I don't know. That being said, I don't know if it's me watching Sex in the City constantly for the last 2 weeks, or I started working out a lot more, but I am flowing and it's very fun. Shout out
what
to
if you
Xerxes.
you sync up with these women on Sex in the City? That's interesting.
Oh, you mean I get pregnant when Miranda gets
I don't know. No, I only watch smash cuts of Samantha across town. That's the only thing I know. No pun.
across town? Oh God. And
Right.
now you ruined Across Town for me. I didn't like, it's only later in the season that they really do the Across Town a lot, but now every time Carrie says and Across Town, I hear Keith in my ear.
What's the across
Acro-
town?
Across town, Miranda was getting something else said.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh, no.
But there's
like,
always
no.
Samantha getting their head shoved into a closet, or it's always her fucking. Guess what's going on across town? I'm like, now we're talking. And hey, look, we're all across town from somewhere, right? So I get it.
My sister worked in a hat shop briefly a little while ago, and she was like, "Oh my God, you won't believe what happened. Cynthia Nixon came into the store." And I was like, "Well, it's
Miranda.
New York. It's New York. It's not that
Right.
hard to believe." And she was like, "But I had no idea it was her." So I went up to her and I was like, "Can I tell you something?
Oh no.
Has anybody ever told you you look exactly like Cynthia Nixon?" And then she looked at me and she was like, "Yeah, that's because I am Cynthia Nixon." And I was like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Marie, why would you think it's not her? We're in New York, it's
Right.
downtown." And she goes, "You know why? Her thighs were so fat." I was like, "There's no way that can be."
She thought it was a
Oh,
big compliment. Like, let me tell
no.
this pig that she looks like this
Oh,
Hollywood
no.
actress. No, it's not crazy because, of course, Cynthia lives in New York. When I say, of course, she also ran for office in New York. She's
Yes.
a big New Yorker. Yeah.
She wanted to be the governor.
Yeah.
Governor Miranda. No,
But
So
then
your
Samantha
sister-
was fucking
s-
up and down the town and kind of ruining her, credibility.
yeah.
Your sister couldn't recognize Cynthia Nixon because her thighs changed.
I do that. I look up, I look down
No.
and then up.
I don't even
My
think
eyes are up here.
I don't even think it's because her thighs changed. I think it's because my sister was like, "She's a Hollywood actress. There's no way she could have fat thighs."
Oh, like she wouldn't even be allowed. Plus,
Yeah.
the new Sex in the City is coming out. So, were they allowed to gain weight?
It'd be
Did
funny
we
if
really ever see them not sitting down though? Aren't they always just sitting down having dinner or cocktails?
They sometimes have sex standing up. Don't even.
Not Miranda. Isn't she lesbian in the show? No, she's lesbian in real life.
Yes.
Ah.
You and your sister are mixing up some shit.
Yeah, it'd be funny if Miranda looked at your sister and was like, "Yeah, I get it, the thighs. Okay,
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Me, goddamn it."
Is it the thighs?
I heard shocking news. I heard that Joe Biden was around Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, and good for Cornwall. and Joe Biden farted. Now, apparently,
Nice.
like during climate change talks, he's fallen asleep. He was
Yep.
talking to the Pope. Poopy head Joe Biden was trending because supposedly the meeting was long, and that means he had to use the bathroom. And now supposedly he's farting in front of duchesses. I think it was the Queen farting, and horses weren't around and blamed it on Biden. I don't know if you've heard this, Lucy, but when the Queen of England, this is true, when the Queen of England would fart, she'd act like, she's royalty, no pun. And she's like, oh, who farted? Right? And everybody's trying to ignore it. Like, we know it was the Queen. Let's not talk about it. And she goes, must have been his horse. Go shoot the horse. So these soldiers, right? You know what I'm talking about. These tinker men.
Of course.
They come out. And they got to put a horse down because she insists on watching it and bury a horse and being like, hopefully that horse will hopefully never flatulate again. And they would have to do that every time. And so now when she's like out and about, she blames it on human beings because it's too much. It's too much. And that better be in the new Spencer movie also. It's too much. And
I heard, yeah, go ahead.
No, is this drunk history?
I heard that you are legally allowed to pee in the hats of those guys guarding Buckingham Palace if you're pregnant. A pregnant woman is legally allowed to ask the guards for their weird fucking Marge Simpson hats.
Right.
And pee.
And across town.
Across town.
It does make sense because it probably came from the olden days, and I can get that. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Well, you know what? Joe Biden honestly sounds like he's dying slowly in front of us. And
so is
what a sad way for Kamala to become the first woman of color, the first person of color to be a president. Like, yeah, he farted his way out and I marched right in. It's just
he's just wasting away. He's gonna have like leprosy and like parts of his face are gonna start falling off. And then she's going to be like, is it okay if I just take over now?
No, because they'd rather, Weekend at Bernie's him for the rest of the time before she gets the crown.
Yeah, seriously.
So tell us, Lucy, tell us what's new with you. Are you dating? I love that shit.
Speaking of which, okay, I'll get to the dating in a minute. But speaking of, Joe Biden, I became an American citizen last month.
Congrats.
Yep.
That's a big deal.
You can legally have sex here. Good for you.
Exactly. I can get arrested now. First thing I wanted to do, punch a cop in the
I'm like, take me in. I have a number.
Oh, what are you gonna do? Deport me? No. But what's so fucking hilarious is you get a certificate, right? You get this beautiful certificate that you want to hang up on your wall. So they give you this envelope, you sit down, and it has 4 pieces of information on you on this certificate: your name, your birth date, the country you're a former citizen of, and then it says your marital status. In my case, divorced. It says divorced on the fucking certificate. It's like, what's next? Like chlamydia ×2, crabs age 14. You know what I mean? What the fuck is that?
Yeah. My brother was trying to fill out when we were looking to see what we don't know anything about our extended family, where I came from, that kind of thing. So me and my other 4 siblings are trying to piece things together. And it made one of my brothers think, oh, you know what? Let's update, because there it says like who was married to who, this kind of thing. And my brother wanted to update my information about my divorce. He goes, when were you divorced? And I'm like, who cares? I don't. My new family doesn't need a record of it. It's not important. I didn't have kids, so it's not important for them to know. Who gives a fuck? I'm not embarrassed about it, but I don't need it on a fucking plaque.
Exactly.
That shouldn't be my status in any way.
In anything.
Yeah.
So now it's like I was really in love and it didn't work out, but who cares about the new one because we're not married yet. So I guess you don't reference that. Yeah, who gives a fuck? You look, I won't tell him. He's like, just tell me. I'm like, figure it out. Fuck you.
That's so funny because
Isn't that crazy?
Yes,
Yeah.
I just re-upped my passport and I had to fill out this information, and it's like, were you ever married? And write the name and name, middle name, age, and whatever of your last spouse. And I'm like, so this fucking guy has to be in my life forever?
Can I
Right.
get over it? Exactly. Can I get over it? They don't want you to get over it. I was
Yeah.
gonna possibly hang this up. I was proud, and also I thought it was funny to have. And
Yeah.
and now I'm like, every time I look at it, it's like you're divorced, you
There's-
failure.
There's a
You know
picture
what
of your
I'm
ex
saying?
like looking down sad in
Yes.
the bottom right. Like, well, that's my
What the
award. Yeah.
And okay, fine. If it had like tons of info on you, but literally 4 things. 4 things. It says
Not even your eye color.
no, not your eye color, not your height. How about a good deed you've done? How about that? What the hell? It was so funny. I
That
I
sucks.
pulled this out slowly, and it's like the last thing, and I was like, what? What the fuck? So that happened.
Wow. What did you have to give up another citizenship to become an American one?
No, well, in Germany, you have to ask for permission to attain another citizenship because they
But you
don't
can hold on
actually-
to it.
and then you can hold on to it, but you have
Nice.
to go through this whole process of proving why you should be allowed to keep the German citizenship. And they almost didn't give it to me until I wrote them a long letter saying that my grandfather was persecuted by the Nazi regime and he was a German Jew and he was stripped of his German citizenship by the Nazis. So there's a law now that says if you're a descendant of someone persecuted by the Nazi regime, you're entitled to German citizenship. So I was like, you can take this away from me, but then I can just reapply for it again.
Right.
What a
After.
weird letter. A weird, like, how do you word this? It's like, hey, here's what you did to my grandpa. Now
It made me
payback.
mad.
Right.
It made me so mad that they would be like, hey, you have to send us more evidence of why you should. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm Jewish. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you don't get to say this to me.
Well,
Wow.
was the test is easy, right? Like Abraham Lincoln, the end.
The
Was
test
that
is
easy?
easy. The test is easy, but then after the civics test, they have to go through all these questions like, have you ever been a habitual drunkard? That's an actual question. That's an
Okay.
actual question and the phrasing of it. I am not
Wait, drunkard?
drunkard. Yeah,
But-
like it's fucking 1802. Yeah.
But you
uh-huh.
could just say no because I was never a drunkard.
They're like,
right. Like what I don't think that they could tell me that I'm wrong. If I
oh,
like let's
because
say
you
they
think
go,
it's male? Drunkard is male?
no, but that's hilarious. No, because I think like what qualifies me as a drunkard,
Oh,
whatever
right.
you think drunkard is, like I could have drank too much. I could even be an alcoholic, but I'm not going to call myself a drunkard.
What's the best you can get on an intelligence test, right? You can't really give a math or science test. So let's just make an Are you a piece of shit? Yes, no. Let's just figure
Yes.
out how dumb you are. Yeah.
They ask you if you've ever recruited child soldiers.
See? See?
I love that. Like, there's possibly someone who's like, damn it. I knew I shouldn't have done that. But, you know, he was, to be fair, he was a tall 12-year-old.
Right.
You know, like, what the fuck is that? And then there's a question, have you ever been involved in prostitution? And it was a man administering the test. When he got to that question, he couldn't look at me. He looked
That's
away.
So funny.
It was so funny. He went, have you ever been involved in prostitution? He was like, look, I was like, hey, buddy, right over here.
Right.
I've had male doctors and they're usually younger. So it's not like once you have a little bit of time under your belt, but is it at all possible that you're pregnant right now? And it's like, you're embarrassed asking me that? Why am I getting pregnant right now in front of you? What could
I've
be
s-
happening?
I've
Have you
seen
had
it.
sex?
Can you tell that I want to fuck you right now? Am I making it obvious? Did I say that out loud?
I have seen doctors say to him, they're like, are you so maybe is there a chance with yeah, kind of pointing at the stomach, maybe, you know, is there like, are you, and then Henda has to say, are you asking if I'm pregnant? Yeah. Okay, I don't know what's funny, and how are we going to talk
No.
about serious shit? But no, I'm not pregnant.
No, I gotta
Okay, good.
order. I gotta order a different doctor at that point. It's
Right.
just you can't touch me because you think asking if I'm pregnant could be sexual harassment. Like
Mm.
that's where your head is because you're like, if you're pregnant, that means you had sex.
Right.
Yeah,
And now,
true.
is this true, Lucy? You'll only date Americans.
Maybe I put Sour Patch Kids on pizza yesterday
Okay.
because
Welcome.
I'm
Aw.
American.
Welcome.
Or because you're pregnant. Are you?
I had something crazy happen to me at the doc. I had to get this crazy checkup because of my periods and stuff. And the woman did an ultrasound on my ovaries and she went, "Oh my God, gorgeous, beautiful.
Oh, good
Oh
for you.
my God, look, wow, just And I was like, I walked out. I was like, I never want to get complimented on my looks again. I've never been this
Right.
happy in my life that I have glistening ovaries. And then I did a comedy show that night and talked about it. And 2 women walked out. And my co-host was like, you can't talk about your glistening ovaries. What if there's women in the audience that are
With less than
self-conscious
perfect, right?
about their ovaries? And it never had occurred to me that you can be self-conscious about your ovaries, but I'm sorry that I have glistening ovaries, ladies. I'm sorry.
Sure. Of
Okay.
course, you could be self-conscious. Of course, your ovaries could not be working. You really want children, like all this stuff, or it might have cancer and whatever.
But not
That
be
doesn't matter.
working it doesn't mean they're not beautiful. I mean, like, how many beautiful people are there that are very stupid that are not working? You know what I mean?
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yes. I should be listening better.
Just holding on to what a doctor gave me. Yeah.
Glistening ovaries. That's so funny. Yes, it's true. I will only date Americans, and I am dating an American.
Look
One
at
of my
this.
the first boyfriend I've had that's American. Serious boyfriend.
A lot of pressure,
Wow.
right?
Yes, first one.
Is
For
it
him.
odd that he doesn't know a second language, but his first language is still shit? Is
He
that
does
odd
know,
about it?
He does know a second language.
Oh, that okay. So,
His parents are immigrants. Yeah.
oh, come on, first
Okay.
generation.
Okay. Yeah,
What are we
right.
easing in? Come
He's
on.
an American and I'm an American. Okay. Okay. You take away everything. People's ovary feelings, me being American. How long has that been?
It's been over a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you fuck
Well-
anybody on the side?
Ew, no, Keith.
Look
come
at
on.
you. Look at
What
you.
the fuck?
Good for
I've
you.
grown and matured. I did that. I cheated once, and I will never do that again.
Good for you. Good
Ever.
for you.
Yeah, but you
All right.
guys know him.
I know this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, you know him. Yeah, he's a comedian.
Who is he?
He's
guess?
Joe Rogan. No.
Wait, can we guess? Can you get no?
Yes,
That's dangerous.
Yes,
That's
yes.
dangerous.
No,
No, I
that's
mean
fun.
with hints, but I think that's a bad idea.
I think that's a
He's
bad
your
idea.
favorite. Michael Fox.
This is exciting. Who you dating?
It is exciting. So you don't want to guess?
I
No,
can't. I
that's
couldn't
too
even guess.
scary.
Should I just announce it
Yeah.
here for the
Yes.
whole world to hear? Tom Delgado.
Tom Delgado.
Oh,
Tom Delgado. We can't quit talking about Tom Delgado.
Really?
he's our favorite Tom.
He's the best. Tom
He is the best.
Delgado. He's the best. What's he say about us?
He can't stop talking about you guys. That's
we
crazy.
all can't quit talking about each other. Honest to God,
Weird.
we really can't stop talking.
That's
about
why I
each
fell
other.
in love with him, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
Right.
of course. He's a comedian, actor, and writer, right?
Mhm.
Tour guide.
Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah.
He's a tour guide. Currently
Yeah.
lives in Brooklyn.
Do you not know him? Do you guys
He was
not know
in
him?
season 4 of Billions.
No, but I wish him well.
Billions.
You don't know him? That's so weird.
Because he was
He
saying
knows
the opposite.
everybody. No,
He's a
because he
he's
knows
a liar.
everybody.
He's a weird liar.
You should have him on. He's very interesting
Absolutely.
and sexy.
Oh, look how cute he is.
He
Oh,
is cute.
nice.
Yeah, he is cute.
What's his if he has one hang up, what would it be? What's he got to work on? It's new. There's something.
Cooking skills?
Okay. Okay. Does he make you eat shit?
No, but he exclusively like eats chicken and rice and beans.
Okay. Okay.
And it's, it's a learning curve.
Right.
Where are his
But he's
parents
from Tampa. He grew up in Tampa. So
Oh, boy.
they're from Nicaragua.
Okay.
Oh, so chicken and rice, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
He looks tall. He's tall, yes.
No, he's not that tall, like 6 feet. Is that tall? 6 foot?
Lucy, I have news for you.
That's
How
not that
tall are
tall.
you? You're like
No, I'm
5 feet tall.
5'1". I'm
But this-
5'1", yeah.
He's
No,
a
but
fucking foot
everybody's
taller than you.
tall. Everybody's tall to me. That doesn't mean they're tall in the world. Everything's tall to me. I don't know what's tall. That's not tall for a guy, is it?
It is. It
Had-
absolutely is. Yes.
How
Oh,
did you
okay.
get? Did you guys recognize that you were in love? What? How did it progress?
When you really scream at each other for
But it's worth my time, right?
you're like, wow.
Hating you is worth my time.
Yeah, exactly.
That has to be love. Have you talked about
Uh,
moving in together over a
we
year?
have talked about moving in together. We actually have been like putting out feelers, and we went to see this apartment, and it was big, and it's been on the market for like 3 months, and it's big and it's nice, and we got approved weirdly because we don't have like we're fucking self-employed. Who the fuck wants us as tenants, you know? And then the woman's like, yeah, now you can meet the landlords. And so we go to meet them, and they're like these old school Italian American people, big cross on the wall. And so the apartment's listed for like 2,400. So I'm like, I'm wondering maybe we can come down, you know, on the rent a little bit. And he's like, well, what were you thinking? And I say, you know, I don't know. I mean, we were hoping to end up at 2,400. So maybe 2,250, maybe 23. You know, there's a broker fee. That's a little bit of a bummer.
Right.
Maybe we'll, he looks at his wife. He goes, I don't, what is she saying? I don't understand what she's saying. I go, I'm like, okay. I explain it again. And I go, you know, so maybe 2,250. And he goes, you think that's fair for this neighbor? And I was like, fair. I mean, fair. I'm just asking. And you can say no, you know, nothing's fair. And then he looks at his wife.
What's
and he goes,
fair? My great granddad, the Holocaust, etc. What do I know about fair?
well, listen. He looks at his wife and he goes, what's her last name again? And the wife goes, yeah, seriously. Is it Schwartz? Are you sure it's not Schwartz or something like that?
Wow. Holy shit. Holy shit. And you gotta and do you laugh it off like, seriously though, can I get a deal?
No, and I did in that moment, because I'm always like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I must be hearing wrong. Yeah.
I must
Jesus.
be hearing wrong. Exactly. And then Tom and I walk out, and I'm like, you heard that, right? And he was like, did I hear that? Of course I fucking heard that. What the fuck? That's what happens in your brain, though. You're like,
Yeah.
I heard that, right?
didn't mean it, yeah.
That happened, right? So yeah, we're not taking the racist apartment, but I told my dad the story, and he goes, you should have said, you're more Jewish than me.
What kind of?
And then jump out a window and make him wonder. Fuck 'em.
Yeah, exactly.
Confusion
What
is the
the
worst
fuck?
revenge. Yeah.
And some people are like, yeah, but you don't have to live with the guy. It's like, yeah, but I'm not going to
Oh,
give this
get out.
motherfucker my money.
No.
No
No.
way.
How
No
do you
way.
think it's okay to say some shit like that? And the crazy thing is, you would say to them, you know, that's fucked up. That's racist. They would go, what are you talking about? All my Jewish friends are bankers.
Right. So you're not good with money?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll pay on time. Of course you will. Damn it. And I'll put 2 crosses up for you. Okay.
Honestly, looking for an apartment right now, this is the new thing that landlords have started doing in like the shittiest fucking neighborhoods, the shittiest apartment. They put a dishwasher into the fucking shittiest apartment, and now the
Right.
rent is like $500. There's rats outside. I'm 40 minutes outside of the city. The least of my fucking worries are 4 dirty dishes that I have.
Right.
This apartment fits 2 people tops. You can't even have friends over. Whose fucking dishes am I putting in the
Right.
dishwasher?
I like that the place is small. You won't have a lot of Jew friends, but you got your cat. So our places. Is there a dip in rent overall, or people know the world's
No.
opening up? So fuck you.
There's no dip in fucking rent. The opposite. Everybody's going nuts.
Right.
It's insane. I don't know what. And it's all these people coming here now with rich parents, even more people with rich parents. All the rich
Right.
parents are like, go to New York. Get out of
Yeah,
my face.
real estate, it took a dip on our side for renters for a while and even for buyers. And then it went right past the old price and it's higher now. Remember, Keith, we read like New York again is the
It's we're
most
number
expensive
one.
city.
We
Yeah.
went to see one. Though the guy was like, "Oh, by the way, if you like it, some people already saw it, and they're gonna offer $50 above the asking
Wow.
price for rent. Who does that for rent? Why would you do that? You're fucking it up for everybody,
Right.
asshole."
I
It's
like to
not-
assume they're lying. I like to assume the brokers are
Mm.
lying.
But even if he's lying, that means that's a thing now.
Right.
What is
No, he's
that?
making it a thing. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God, it's so bad. I mean, like Tom was like, "Well, we could look in Forest Hills."
Oh, that's far.
I grew up in New York. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We might as well live in Philly.
It's right
It's
by
like
Long
living in
Island. Yeah.
Forest Hills.
It's not
What the
okay. It's
fuck?
not right by Long Island, but
No?
it is. It's
I took a wrong exit once. I was in Long
It's
Island.
so
That's all I
close
know.
to Long Island.
okay.
It's closer
okay.
to Long Island than to the city.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I don't know that you guys are right.
No, we're right.
Queens goes all the way to Little Neck.
Yeah,
let's not
exactly.
let's
That's Long
not do
Island.
this in front of our children. All right, everybody. Let's just not. Let's save this for later.
That we started our podcast in Forest Hills should be even a bigger thing that we were
You did?
being accomplished. Yeah.
Right outside of Forest Hills, even further. We it was close to Flushing, Briarwood. So the
Oh,
fact
wow.
that people even came out to Briarwood, yeah, we
Wow.
should get an extra award for the most. It was, and it wasn't just right off the subway. No.
Right. You have to get a connecting flight in Ohio, but we made it work.
It just shows you how desperate comedians are for
Do you
any
get-
sort of attention.
When you're looking for a place, have you said to your boyfriend, like, let's get arrested for something, spend time in jail, get our finances in order, and find something? Because I'm a citizen now. It's
Yeah,
not that big a
exactly.
deal. Of course, Tiger King and the great Joe Exotic. He's in prison for 22 years. 22 years for orchestrating the botched murder for hire plot to kill Carol Baskin, and for herding cubs and other tigers. Let's see. Prosecutor said he paid a man $3,000 to kill Baskin in Florida in 2017. He's also convicted of multiple wildlife violations related to killing 5 tigers, selling tiger cubs, and falsifying records. So that's why he's there. He was just diagnosed with aggressive cancer. He says, "It is with sad face that I have to tell you that doctors called me in today to break the news that my prostate biopsy came back with an aggressive cancer." I hear that's maybe this sounds stupid, but that's one of the worst ones. "I'm still waiting on the results from other tests as well. But right now, I don't want anyone's pity." Oh, okay. Well, then forget it. Thanks for the update. Seemed like you wanted my pity a little bit. Okay. No problem. I'm glad you filled me in. They have, let's see, he begged for compassionate release from prison. They have the proof I did not do this. You can't do that. Watch a movie. You can't say the proof is out there that you didn't do it when you were already convicted for over 2 decades. You have to show a little remorse for something. "I did not do this, and there is no reason for the U.S. attorney to drag this out, so I can go home and get treatment on my own, I guess for booze, or enjoy what time I have left with my loved ones."
I gotta say, like, I don't even know if he knows the privilege that he has to make a statement and that we hear about it when he's in jail. There's so many people being diagnosed with so many things in jail who actually didn't do anything. And they're not getting any of this, let alone pity. They're not getting any of this
Right.
attention.
Well, they had a chance to fuck tiger cubs and have a reality TV show, and they didn't go for it. So this is America.
Well, I
That's
don't know
what's
what's
gonna-
going to be.
Opportunity.
That's Tiger King too. That's what they're going to
Yeah.
be talking about, I
Right.
think.
I think
It's not-
soon jails will be like, you can have a softer sentence or a shorter sentence, but you have to enter reality show jail. And
Yeah.
there's like a
Mhm.
separation. You could either like be in privacy and poop and shit only in front of your cellmates, or cameras on you 24 hours. And let's see what comes of it.
Right.
I think that's what the metaverse is going to be for all of us. Right?
Joe Exotic says, based on, we just got the announcement, there'll be a Tiger King 2, which will suck. I love the
course.
first Tiger King, but like Kenda pointed out, this is just shit on the cutting room floor. Carol Baskin is suing over it,
Yep,
so she
yep.
wasn't part of it.
Heard about that.
The Tiger King's in jail. He's not part of it. Half the crew has died of alcoholism, so they're not part of it. This is just leftover bullshit they didn't think was good enough. And some of those shows, as much as I like Tiger King, were filler shows. I didn't need some of those. So yeah, it's gonna blow. But Joe Exotic is excited because he thinks Tiger King 2 will show the proof that will be. It was Trump last time. He was gonna pardon him with all these pardons to billionaires. But now he's counting on Tiger King 2 to show the light on this bitch Carol Baskins.
Wow, and you brought up Trump and his pardoning. There are so many people going like, I totally fucking my bro Trump he's gonna pardon me. I'm gonna get out of everything. And boy, he didn't even think about you. He doesn't even know your name. Right. And first of all, Tiger King 2. They're gonna pick up the scraps of paper they have left on the floor. If anything, you're gonna get in more trouble. You're not getting out of trouble. If anything, they're like, holy shit, we didn't know you shot that 6th tiger. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we have to have a hearing on that. Yeah, what they left out, because they totally knew there would be a part 2. What they left out is wrapping up things, the fact that he saved 50 tigers. He makes love the best. He's just the smartest. Actually, what we find out in part 2 is he's really intelligent.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm just finishing the fucking crossword. Hey, New York Times, make it harder. 1 minute, 32 seconds, motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Carol Baskin says she received a lot of stress, of course, from Tiger King, and it's hard to deal with. So, of course, then you would do a new show called Cage Fight for the Discovery Channel because it's so much pressure. Sure. But anyway, she received so much pressure. She says she was invited to a hidden secret group of A-list actors who meet to talk about the stress of Hollywood. No, she didn't.
What?
First of all, she didn't get invited. And second of all, that's just a spa or a rehab. I don't know. Like, maybe she was invited to rehab and they go, no. This is where A-listers get together and talk about their problems. Could you imagine Tom Cruise is talking to Carol Baskin? Like, all I did was jump on the couch. They still make jokes about it. How about you? What do you got going? They say I killed my second husband. I hear ya. Hey, it's me, Kim Kardashian. So I'm just trying to date a funny guy for a little bit, right? So they can all commiserate on all the stress of Hollywood.
And Robert Durst is in the corner like,
don't get me started.
Pass the peanuts.
Maybe it was just Scientology that called her.
Right.
Get me started.
Right. She saw the video. Like, I can be with John Travolta. I was invited to be with Kirstie Alley. She said that she was invited to join it after the Tiger King phenomenon. Somebody reached out to me and said, I have this group of celebrities, and before COVID, we would meet. They talk about what it was like to live their lives. And I can see now why celebrities run around in dark glasses and scarves and ducking like they're running away from the law from one place to another, because it's overwhelming.
You know what? I don't want to tell anyone how to react to their own trauma, but this is a weird reaction to somebody trying to kill you.
Right.
Like, and
Right.
now I'm in the spotlight about anything in my life. Come see me.
Right. Like, she has to be her lawyers keep telling her, like, don't act like you weren't really scared of this loser.
Right.
That's all you have to do, because that's very important to the case.
Somebody tried to kill me. Here's my address. Fuck the P.O. box.
Hey, cool cats and kittens. Here's another murder threat.
She thinks Google Maps is a social media app. She's like, follow me on Google Maps.
Right.
Know where I am.
It's a little Alec Baldwin-esque, isn't it?
Alec was there at the A-list meeting, and he's
I'm sure he
explaining to
was.
Carol, like, let me tell you something.
They made me kill someone.
They made me kill somebody.
My PR team, they said, you have to do this. Nobody cares about you anymore.
Alec Baldwin might have killed her second husband. Who knows what they discovered
Alec
in
Baldwin
these
did
rooms.
it. Alec Baldwin did it. Yeah. Alec Baldwin.
Holly
You
weird.
know, when this happened, my sister's just a constant treasure trove of amazement, texted me and goes, have you texted
Seen
Stephen
his
Baldwin?
side.
No. Have you?
Have
Yeah.
you seen his thighs?
Have you texted Stephen Baldwin? I was in a horror film with Stephen Baldwin like 9 years ago. And she goes, have you texted him to give him your condolences about what happened
Right.
and to tell him that you're sorry
Sure.
about what his family is going through?
Yeah, I did that during 9/11. I hit on exes and I was like, "Are you okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm in Daytona, you motherfucker. I'm okay. Just checking." You're in New York. Are you okay? Yes. Thank you for asking. You want to go
Are you
out?
comparing it because that's your gentle way of saying, hey, did your sister just ask you if you're an asshole?
Right. Well, it's it's hey, Alec, how's
No,
it going?
it's like this way to like have a reason to contact someone. right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, what's
Did
that?
you do it?
No, of course not. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why would I do that? She's like, you should text him.
I
Text
like
him
that
right
your
now.
sister thinks that Alec Baldwin has the same phone number as 9 years ago. There's
Stephen
no way.
Baldwin, not even Alec Baldwin.
Oh.
Stephen Baldwin. Stephen Baldwin. If it was Alec Baldwin, that makes sense. Stephen Baldwin.
You should cover your number and call him right now. Let's see if it's Steven. What does
he
it start?
answers the phone. The whole world's bullshit. It's a conglomeration that's trying to trick you into no vaccinations. Brian Williams, the news anchor, he has left MSNBC. Worked for NBC, of course. Then he made up. He was flying with SEAL Team 6, and his helicopter was getting shot at. And SEAL Team 6 said, "What? I think we were there. What?" He said he saw dead bodies floating in New Orleans during Katrina. He made up he was at the Berlin Wall. He made up that he once shook hands with the Pope. So they took him from NBC. You lie that much as a news guy, it's a big deal. So they take you off of NBC and put you on MSNBC, and he is now retiring. He went from $13 million a year being on NBC to $6 million on MSNBC, and now he says after 28 years, no, thank you. There's no rules for anything, right? Like, you can't be caught lying being a news anchor. That feels very important, being a lying reporter. But somehow we just forgive him.
It's also like, it's not like he's lying to his wife and is like, hi, I'm live from so-and-so from Daytona, Florida, but don't tell my wife. Anyway,
Right.
He was making up news.
He made up news. Yeah.
You're sharing things in the world that you're reporting about and comparing them to things that didn't happen that were also part of the news.
Right. So there's no way for ratings that you skewed a story a little bit. Of course you must have.
But
it wouldn't make sense otherwise.
Look at the shit look at Trump said he fucking will shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue. And people were like, no, that's fine.
But that's not a lie. As we learned. I'm talking about liars. He's right.
That's true. That's true. He never lied about anything. He was as horrible as he said he was.
You know what? I just finished the book Trust Me, I'm a Liar by, I think it's Ryan Holiday. And
by Brian Williams. How weird.
I'm like, don't have fun with it now, asshole. Yeah.
This is the guy who was the PR for, I don't know if you remember that guy, Tucker Max, where they generated how this guy's an asshole, he's anti-feminist, and without even people reading his work, there were, mobs of people trying to, go against his word or whatever like that. He was also the PR person for American Apparel, and he used to lie and manipulate to the press and blogs, because they were so overwhelmed, they didn't check any of the sources, they didn't check any of the material, and he would manipulate them to post whatever it is his agenda was. And now here's his sort of, let me tell you how this, he's sorry. And also here's him, saying this is what I did. And also look out for this. There's fake news everywhere. People like me can manipulate it. And I'm like, okay, this could have been a pamphlet. I think I just summed it up. But one of the things that was extra disturbing, like, we kind of know that that's happened. He wrote this book years ago. We kind of know that that's going on, but he defended Brian Williams, and he defended who's the Nebuchadnezzar Jew director, Woody Allen. Like, because what he's talking about is we go into hysterics, like with the Monica Lewinsky thing and her TED Talk talking about how she's the first to be mass bullied and go viral with something that's very private that has nothing to do with her job and like that kind of thing. And he goes, yeah, Brian Williams exaggerated the story. Woody Allen, we got into his private life. I'm like, well, how are you describing this like this?
I didn't mean to get into Woody's private life. Sorry.
I'm like, he was a pedophile, and
Right.
his kid is writing about how he systematically fucking did this, and which means that's not his personal life, that's law breaking. This isn't just regular
Right.
shit. And by the way, don't act like he got canceled. Don't act like any of these guys got canceled.
Right. Right. What I remember Mel Gibson being on a late night talk show, and it's after those the tapes came out. He hopes his girlfriend is raped by a pack raped by a pack of N-words. Jews caused all the wars, all this kind of stuff. And so I don't know if it's Colbert or what, but it's a softball question. You're gonna have a dumb answer. It's probably gonna piss me off, but the whole world's gonna be okay with it. There's like, hey, what about these tapes? And Mel Gibson's defense was, yeah, you could do that now. You could just take somebody's private phone calls, play it, and the world judges it. Disgusting. I'm like, what? Well, you're done. Well, surprise, surprise. New movie comes out next month with Mel Gibson. But yeah, you just I can't believe it in my privacy.
But I like that he says she's the first woman to get mass bullied. They were like burning women at the stake.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's mass bullying, isn't it?
I know I misspoke. It's more viral mass, like internet related.
Right.
I don't even know if she was the first, but it feels like she was the first.
I got to see this new impeachment TV show, and then I'll decide. What do you think it's like for famous people to go into therapy? Like the therapist knows all about them already. Does Brian Williams say, hey, so in my home life, I'm dealing with not working anymore and being at home, and the therapist is like, you're gonna bring up your line? You have to bring it up. Bring up the fucking Mr. SEAL Team 6. Can you bring that up already? I wonder if it drives therapists nuts. Like, that's not your main problem, Travis Scott, that you didn't get paid fairly from Burger King. Oh shit.
You should test out your therapist by playing silent trailers with them. And if they know nothing like I do, it's like, you're safe. I can tell you everything from scratch.
They're probably all like, tell me more about your masturbatory fantasies so they can go and tell their friends.
Right.
They're like, you won't believe what Brian Williams thinks about.
How are your thighs looking now, Brian? Thank you. BetterHelp, HELP. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's a therapy. I'm then myself do it as well. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change therapist if needed. More affordable than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is available. How about that? BetterHelp wants you to be happier today. The world's nuts. I mean, Lucy's going in like, hey, how you doing? And they go, how you doing, Joe? That might take a second to deal with it. I understand that. And that's why I like BetterHelp. Okay. Let's see.
I say go into therapy. Like, a lot of people, they don't think they need help. And I get that. It's weird to think that you need help by just talking to people. Go because you think other people need help. If you go like, so-and-so is always acting like this, and so-and-so I can't stand because this, if you have a lot of that going on, go complain to your therapist and they'll work it out with you. It's totally not your fault.
Here's what you do. BetterHelp.com/KTG. Join over 2 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. Okay. So Keith and the Girl listeners get 10% off your first month. BetterHelp.com/KTG. Okay.
I say don't even date anyone who doesn't believe in therapy or getting help of some sort. You just kind of deal with everything yourself as if we're able to.
You hear that, Delgado?
My friend actually does BetterHelp. She's very happy because she can text her therapist.
That's right.
Yeah, you can at any time. You can text, you can send video. I send. I'm like, hey, I know we have a meeting coming soon, but in the meantime, here's what Johnny Ballbag said about me on my forums. Just take a look. just take a look. All right, have a good night.
So do you?
Right. Oh. No, go ahead, please.
No, it's a monthly thing, right? You don't pay per text, do you?
No,
you do. Look at this. No,
I don't know.
look at this. Yeah.
That would be like that's more of like a sex subscription.
You do
Right.
it. They charge by word, so I use all pictures.
Did you come? Oh no, then it's free. I
I
had a
s-
therapist who once sent me a meme of these poodles dancing after I like asked her something, and I was like, "Oh my god, I think I now have to stop seeing this woman. She's
Yes.
crazy."
Yeah.
And then,
And
like,
with BetterHelp, you can easily switch your therapist.
Right.
that's it. No dancing poodle memes on BetterHelp. Nope.
And I
mm-mm,
guarantee you
never.
get a free session if you explain you were sent poodle memes. Just- you heard it here first. There, I said it. Fuck it. I promise. Okay.
Poodle meme.
All right, movie corner. I saw this movie. It's called Karen,
Oh.
and
Oh no.
it's about
What?
Karens, but her name's Karen. Get it?
A whole movie?
A whole movie with Taryn Manning. She played Kim in 8 Mile. She was Eminem's cheating wife.
Oh, I love her.
Right?
Such a
I
Karen.
do.
Classic
I-
Karen.
Sometimes I see, because we're watching so many movies on our TV show now, on our TV. It's funny when a movie starts and just the camera, sometimes just the font of the title, you're like, oh, this isn't real. This isn't a real. That's how this movie starts. And I wonder if Taryn Manning like turned the movie on and be like, God damn it, they look like real cameras.
But you know what? I think she only does kind of fake movies. Wasn't she also in that
Mm.
Britney movie? Like she kind of does like either this will be a total laugh because it's like, oh, are we taking this seriously?
Right.
Or it'll be somehow iconic because it's almost that ridiculous.
There were at least 3 times in this movie that somebody said, wait, her name's Karen, but an actual Karen, and that's her name, Karen. And I'm like, we get it. You're referencing the real world. We follow.
I love
Honestly,
this
like,
movie.
This movie,
sounds great.
I have no idea about this movie, but even as a skit, it sounds too long.
Yes. I loved it, but it's horrible. It's like,
Karen?
I'm just, a black couple moves in, surprise, surprise. And so then she makes her way to like a party. All the black people have black friends. And she's like, I'm just saying, if you can't conform to the rules, go back where you came from. What? And they're like,
Oh,
oh,
boy.
where's that, Karen? I don't know. Africa. And then the whole room was like, oh. And you're supposed to be at home just disgusted instead of laughing your balls off.
That reminds me of the PSAs that we had when we were kids. And it's like, hey, buddy, friend of mine, Keith. Oh, hey, Chemda, what are you doing?
Right.
Actually, I'm bored. Well, I discovered drugs. Oh, no, that's the thing that everyone told me to stay away from. Yes, but look at me. I'm happy. Okay, I will do some. Oh, no. Now, like, I'm a loser who can't get anywhere.
They should remake the Holy Grail with just Karens, like the scene where they're chopping off each other's limbs, and it should just be Karens yelling at each other and like chopping each other, and then it's like, Karen, I'm the knight of the Karen, and they have the coconuts.
There's at least 3 times where to transition from one scene to another, they show Karen standing there and the camera just focuses on her face real slowly. They do it a bunch. And she's like, I don't know how this is going to look. I hope fine. And then gets home and watches it. And it's like, nope, just like it really happened. Stupid as fuck. Like, who knows? I mean, these superhero movies, especially, they never know how it's going to work out. Do dumb shit will make it look good. She's like, all right, I guess you'll make me look like, Mike Myers or something. It's so stupid.
So
This
you
feels
thought,
like it feels like it was written by a Karen who's trying to be sorry.
Right.
You thought this was going to be good? You
I
thought
did.
there.
I
That's a
didn't
good
think it would be
question.
horrible. I didn't think it'd be so nothing. I didn't think it'd be literally ripped from the headlines where they
love
just
that.
paste the
Keith
headline
is
on
like-
the screen.
Keith is like, honey, I made a steak and bought a nice bottle of wine, and we're going to watch Karen. This is
Well, she
going to
li-
be good.
Kyle likes those
Uh.
suspense thrillers. I thought, and I recognize this actress's name. I'm like, it must be something that somehow missed the radar. I'm not thinking it's gonna be Shawshank, but something's gonna. Oh my god! If you like shitty movies, this is it. And you know what's gonna bother me about this? If it didn't already sweep the upcoming Razzies, it's ridiculous. What they do is they take like a real actor that tried and the movie was just okay, and they give that worst picture. This could be this year's
Sweep. Razzies.
It should be a sweep. It'll be, what's that movie that was known as the worst movie ever made?
The Room.
The Room. It's this year's The Room.
Wow. But I have a lot of respect because nowadays there's really no excuse to watch bad movies anymore. Like,
but how do you know?
There's so much, because and there's so much you can rewatch all the classic. You have that 2 hours and you're going to choose to watch Karen. I respect it. I respect that. I do.
But like people are saying, okay, so there's the new movie out now, number 1, Eternals. It's the new Marvel movie.
Are we spoiling
All
things?
right.
Is this the last thing and we're spoiling? What's the spoiler alert on
Are we
this?
spoiling everything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I want you to know that before the show started, Keith warned Lucy about the spoil. He's like, "Listen, I'm gonna do some spoilers at the end with this movie. Do you mind?" And he goes, "Do you mind?" And we're looking at a Zoom call, and he goes, "Do you mind, Lucy?" Like I am so against spoilers, and I don't even know what he's talking about, but I will in 10 years, and this will all flash back, and I will not be able to enjoy the movie.
I'm
I
so
have
curious.
to say,
how would our lives be better, Lucy, if we somehow had a brain that didn't even know there's a new superhero movie?
oh my God. I mean, my sister's like this. I'm sorry to keep bringing up my sister, but she's like this, and I'm in awe. She said to me not that long ago, she was like, "Oh my God, have you heard of this thing that everybody's doing? It's called Botox or something." And I'm like, how joyous must your life be? When my dad was in the hospital a few years ago. He doesn't speak English well. And he wanted me to bring him the New York Post every morning because he thinks like the headlines are hilarious. And it's like trashy, right? To read the New York Post. And the front page was Trump meets Rump after Kim Kardashian went to the White House.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So my dad didn't know what a rump was.
Okay.
Because he doesn't speak English well. And he didn't know who Kim Kardashian is. So I had to explain both those things. And I was like, this is such an amazing, have a totally different experience of life. Like
Thank you.
live
I'm an
on
immigrant.
a different planet.
It's interesting. It's interesting how there's I mean, I don't know. My brother was talking to me the other day, and he's on a dating app, and something said like, no Dems, no jabs, blah blah. And he goes, what's a jab? And I go, that means they're anti-vax. Yeah. He goes, but Trump took the vax. And I'm like, yeah. Like, you still don't know the world we live in? Yeah. But he deliberately wasn't clear about it. And here's where we are. Like, do you know that or not know that?
And my sister will say things, I'll be like, yeah, Botox, Marie, of course. And she goes, how do you always know everything?
And now you're the asshole that's obsessed with Botox. Right.
Or pop culture. Right. I'm like, how does that pass you by?
Different people know different things.
But I don't try to know those things. That's the thing. Like, how do you escape that? That's what I want to know, the secret to escaping it.
Okay. In all fairness, I know what a rump and who Kim Kardashian is.
Okay.
But Eternals, I have to say, the only thing that I noticed about Eternals is that Salma Hayek is in it, right?
She is in it for a little bit. Yeah.
And the first thing that
I know who that is.
See? The first thing that I thought when I saw that, which might be a little fucked up, was, wow, she has great agents who are like desperately trying to keep her relevant.
Right. It is interesting. Right. Where'd she come from? Yeah.
If she's not in a Marvel movie, there's no like hope. You know what I mean? Then it's just done. That's it.
But you say, how do you watch shit? This was getting poor reviews. I'll tell you, I liked it. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to end up, running into a Karen every now and again. That's just the way life works.
I got to say, it's very rare to hear you say about a movie, I liked it.
Usually
it's either I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it. Or it's fucking blue balls.
Yes, that's true. I liked it. Like there's parts of it where I'm like, oh, this is corny. They're gonna
Mm.
develop some kind of power. There's like 10 characters. The Eternals are gonna make some kind of power so they can all use their mind together. You can tell
Mhm.
that's coming. I'm like, already, whatever the fuck last minute bullshit this is gonna be dumb. But at the same time, it's already 2.5 hours. I'm like, but I don't need it longer. Like, this is silly and not explained, but that's good. And I hear the consensus is they should have made it a TV show on Disney Plus. That said, no.
Mm.
Give me all this shit, and if I miss something, fine. I love a movie. I'm in. I get the facts. I'm out.
Mhm.
Guess
Movies
what?
are still better than TV shows.
There's gonna be a TV show. They have
course.
extra clips.
Right.
Extra clips.
It was a little strange that the main character, the most powerful character anyway, in the Eternals is Rob Stark from Game of Thrones.
No, I just
Also-
watched Game of Thrones.
Also in it is who loves the woman that used to be with Rob Stark is Jon Snow.
Shut up.
She's fucking the Stark brothers. That can't
Shut
be an
the
accident.
fuck up.
And there's an
Okay.
after credits scene where he's some kind of Excalibur superhero, Jon Stark.
This sounds
is-
controversial.
Wow, this is controversial.
And the main
yeah.
character, the woman's name is Cersei.
Wait
What's
a
going on
minute.
here? Yeah.
Who are you, Brian Williams? Um, really? Is it really
Yeah.
Cersei?
Yeah.
No.
So there's that's her
What?
name.
They
Yeah. So
can't
there's
do
a
that.
lot of weird Game of Thrones
the fuck is that?
connections. Right.
And the main character's name is Batman, but it's not Batman. But they thought it was a
not
cool
that.
name. What the fuck is
Right.
that?
I saw that the movie was banned in a lot of Middle Eastern countries because there was a same-sex couple.
Oh.
And so, you know what that means. It means two dudes. It doesn't mean the fun way. So, and I was curious about it. And then I forgot all about it because the scene came and went. And looking back, one of the superheroes is gay and he has a human partner and they kiss because he's got to go fight the demons. It was 2 seconds. It was nothing. Meanwhile, Marvel had their first superhero sex scene. You could tell that a straight couple was fucking on the beach. Like, oh, look at that.
Through those outfits?
Yeah, well, you saw they were naked. You could see like you can see
they
the
have
shoulders.
to be naked. Superheroes have to be naked to fuck.
They do, yeah. Yeah.
Losers.
The friction sets their clothes on fire. You really can't. You got to get everything out of the way, where your skin can handle. Let's see. I took down some notes here. This is funny. So the Eternals live forever, but one of the Eternals was a kid, like 13 years old. And so that kid gets fed up because everybody's, even though they're 7,000 years old, the kid's going to be a kid forever. They were made by a higher power. What higher power thought, this will be funny? You're a kid forever.
The devil.
Woody Allen.
It must be Woody Allen or the devil, but I didn't read the
The same
comic books.
person.
But it's the Woody Allen devil must have done this as a funny joke because there's no
Woody
how do you
Allen
not think that would cause troubles? And also, all
This
these
is my
people-
Halloween costume next year.
A
Woody,
Woody
Allen,
Allen
devil.
devil. A super neurotic devil. I love it.
and all the people kind of have the same powers. It's like you throw balls of power, you shoot little bits of power, you have a sword of power, and then they got one guy that can fly and shoot lasers, and he's the most powerful. Well, if you're here to save the world, Eternals, give them all that power. But
Yeah.
surprise, surprise, that guy turns evil because they give him no personality. That's
If
the
you-
giveaway. When a
if you-
superhero has no personality, he's going to turn evil. Trust me.
If you're here to save the world, then surely you should be able to teach everybody to recycle.
Now that's a superpower.
Oh no, that's hilarious. I love it. So they live forever. Yes.
They live forever unless somebody kills them.
Makes
I don't
sense.
think anything is a spoiler. I don't know that you have to worry, but I don't know. It's called Eternals. All
It's
we
also-
said is
It's very on the nose.
yeah.
Eternals.
I mean, I guess so's Batman and Spider-Man. That's on the nose. Like, don't be by Spider. You're a man and a spider, Spider-Man.
But by now, just keep in mind when you watch a superhero movie, the bad guys probably aren't that bad. Unless it's very, very clear, then there's a misunderstanding. So many misunderstandings in Marvel.
Hmm.
Three's
Everybody's
Company.
these superheroes, they meet another person, they start fighting. I'm Thor, I'm Captain America, fuck you, fuck you. And then they fight until they're both tired. Then they're like, we got to work this out because you're tough. And then they work together. But yeah, they
So like a regular bar fight.
yes.
Mm.
Oh, your name's Martha. You're
Should
Martha.
have had
Okay.
Alec Baldwin in this movie. He would have settled it. I'm sorry.
One person's superpower is she can change the consistency of something. She could turn ice into water. She could turn a falling building into butterflies. By the way, asteroids were coming, and she starts turning these asteroids into butterflies, into birds. Well, there's even more. Half these birds are dead. That's very, very cruel.
It's also very unsanitary.
Right. So at one point, she gets stabbed in the back, and it comes out her stomach. And so, but she's able to touch the dagger, and that turns into water. So she's okay. But her body could just take that flood of water from the dagger. She didn't even go like, oof. I mean, thank
It
God
was
she
a
did.
fa-
Right.
It was,
what
it was,
if she did the butterflies? Not even thinking about it. Like,
Ew.
oh God, fuck! There's butterflies on me. Get them out. She burps.
I would turn my vagina into a dick sometimes.
Really?
Just change the consistency.
I would turn it into a flesh-eating plant and just eat the penis.
Oh my goodness.
But
Hey, some
what-
of them
Shout out to
deserve
Tom.
it. Meet Audrey 3. Yeah.
there's so at the very end there's these they do those bonus scenes.
Yeah.
And you know they're very fun because you know how you see a movie you want to go home and do a lot of research. Like what the fuck is this supposed to be? But apparently it's opening up the world of Blade, the vampire hunter, is going to be in this MCU universe, and Mahershala Ali is going to play Blade,
Mhm.
which is funny to me always because Wesley Snipes is still alive.
Wesley Snipes was Blade.
Yeah. So and he's like, so you want me to be in it? Like, nah, we're good.
Oh
Like, really? Because I was in 17 of them. No, thanks. Isn't Mahershala Ali? Doesn't he look kind of frail and shy? Like, yeah. We just think it's a better choice than tough guy you.
No.
Okay.
Wesley
Well, I can use some help with
Snipes.
the IRS. Nah, thanks.
My Greek ex-husband hated Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
He didn't care about movies, didn't care about anything. It just he hated Wesley Snipes. Isn't that crazy? I
Did
think
he?
that's probably why.
Did he come off egotistical or something? Do you know why?
No, I have no idea why. He was like, I'd be like, oh, let's watch this movie. He'd be like, oh no, it's Wesley Snipes. I don't like that guy.
Never
It'd be
bet
funny.
on black.
It'd be funny if that's on your certificate, right?
Yeah,
Someone that
divorce.
made it.
Hated Wesley Snipes. Ex hated Wesley Snipes.
So
All right,
weird.
let me tell you what's going on here with Lucy. All right, may I, please,
Please,
Lucy, please?
please.
All right, her show Immigrant Jam. That's part of the New York Comedy Festival.
It is.
Congrats.
Thank you. That's tomorrow.
That's going to be tomorrow, the 11th, Thursday, Veterans Day. It's given back to the troops as well. Thank you.
And it's also National Singles Day, apparently.
What does that mean?
Mm.
Was
I
that
have
something
no
silly
idea.
we give those sad people? Is that what that is?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
I think give all single people presents. It's just like you have to show up and give baby a present and
Yep.
marriage a present, engagement present. Give
Yep.
your single friend a present.
Yep. Give
What do you
your
give?
single
Like
friend
a
present.
sex toy? What do you give?
Always a nice joint, maybe a nice Amazon gift card.
The book Calling in the One.
What's that?
It's a book. It's a book that I know a few people who have done it, and apparently you do this book and then you find the one.
Oh, wow.
So like the opposite of he's just not that into you.
Exactly the opposite of that. Yep.
Got to be more positive. You have a weekly comedy show, like I mentioned, Schmooze. Please
Yep.
explain.
Well, it's a really fucking fun comedy show that I host with Chase DeRusso in the East Village. We have a live pianist,
Mm.
classiest show in town, baby.
Mhm.
We give out free dates because no one should be dateless. The
Mhm.
fruit. Okay, relax. The fruit. And it's in the Old Sidewalk Cafe, now known as
Oh.
August Laura. And it's great. We sing, we fucking have a ball. It's
Oh,
You guys should come. You should
Those
be
are
on
my
it.
two favorite things. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I
Singing and
haven't-
having fucking balls.
Oh, I thought fucking and singing,
too.
but yeah. I haven't been in the new sidewalk. That sounds fun.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's very fun. It's very, very fun. Chase DeRusso and I host it. It's very fun. Very fun show. And yeah, every week, Tuesdays, every Tuesday, 8
All
o'clock.
right. Well, yeah, you can follow Lucy Pohl, POHL.com. You can follow the Instagram. Hello.
can
Who's
do
got
it.
outfits, Lucy? Who's got outfits?
Hello,
At
baby.
The letter U, love Lucy.
This is right.
That's it. That's
That's it.
that.
That's
That's
it.
all I can tell you. You know what I mean?
Nothing else to tell you.
This is the great Lucy Pohl, who has never seen a bad movie since she's been an adult. And it's always a joy hearing from her.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you for having me.
Don't forget, keithandthegirl.com/kick. Thank you so much for your support. It's very exciting. There is a reward on there that you'll be interested. I can promise you that. But minimum, check out the video, okay? And we'll talk to you soon.
keithandthegirl.com.